In this lesson, we're going to compare fractions and decimals, meaning we're going to try to decide, given a pair of numbers, which one is bigger. And we want to specifically know how to do this when one's a fraction and one's a decimal. And the strategy we're going to use here is just to turn our fraction into a decimal, or at least carry out the process for long enough that we can tell which one's bigger and which one's smaller. So let's start with 5/7 and 0.714. So we're going to take our 5/7 and start the conversion process. Take the numerator divided by the denominator. 7 does not go into 5, so I'll put a 0 here, add a decimal point. 7 goes into 50 7 times. 7 times 7 is 49. Remainder of 1, add another 0. 7 goes into 10 once. 1 times 7 is 7, and then we get a remainder of 3. Drop down our 0. 7 goes into 34 times. Okay, and so far the reason I've continued this process this whole time is because in each step the digits have been identical. But now I have a remainder of 2. Okay, so I bring my 0 down one more here, and I can see 7 goes into 20 twice. All right, let's stop right here. So even though I'm not finished converting 5/7 into a decimal, I can see now that 5/7 is bigger than 0.714, right? Because what's hiding out here after the 4? Well, really, it's a 0 right here. And since the fourth digit from the decimal point in 5/7 is bigger than the fourth digit from the decimal point here, of course 5/7 would be greater. Alright, so now let's look at 0.38 with a bar over it and 19/50. So first of all, we'll start the process of turning 19/50 into a decimal. 50 goes into 19 0 times. 50 goes into 193 times. 3 times 50 is 150. We get a remainder of 40. Drop the 0. Now 50 goes into 400 8 times, because 5 goes into 40 8 times, and then you're just adding a 0 to each number, so the quotient there is the same. So 8 times 50 is 400. And so what we can say is that 19/50 is the same as 0.38. So I'm kind of rewritten this problem down here to say which is bigger, 0.38 with a bar over it or 0.38. Well, we understand what this means, right? 0.38 with a bar over it means 0.38, 38, 38, and so on. Okay, and so of course that is definitely bigger than 0.38, because what comes after the 8 here? Well, again, a 0 is kind of hiding out there. So this is definitely a bigger number than that, and so we can say that 0.38 with a bar over it is definitely bigger than 19/50. All right. Okay, now finally let's take a look at 2/3 and 0.67. So we'll take our 2/3, 2 divided by 3. 3 does not go into 2. 3 goes into 20 6 times. 6 times 3 is 18. Remainder of 2. Drop a 0 down. 3 goes into 26 times. I just continue to get a remainder of 2 each time, right? And so, 2, 2, 2. So this is the same digit repeating over and over. So this 2/3 is just 0.6 with a bar over it. So the question is, what's bigger, 0.6 with a bar over it or 0.67? Okay, well, remember, this means 0.6666 ... and this is 0.67. Well, remember the way we compare decimals. You just look at their corresponding place values until there's a difference, and at that first difference, the one with the bigger digit is the bigger number. So they're the same in the ones place, they're the same in the tenths place, but they differ in the hundredths place. This one has a 6, this one has a 7. So the 0.67 is actually larger than 2/3.